is 6:01, and as soon as that is announced, we have Mr. Wade Nelson has entered the house. Hello. So we absolutely have a quorum for this MEDC meeting in Montgomery, November the 20th, 2023. Hello. So thank you for those tuning in and all who have showed up today. And so, anyway, so here we go. Do we have any public comments? Obviously, that would probably be no. And so, item 1, status of regular meeting minutes of October 23, 2023.
Directors had the memo. Again, there were no minutes from the last meeting or notes. Carol's been nice enough to supply us with the notes that she took from it. There's a copy at your seats. If you would, over the next week or two, if you guys would please just take a look, see if there's anything that needs to be added from your perspective, any important points of a conversation or any of those agenda items. The audio didn't record, so we've got a video recording of the meeting. We just don't have any audio recording, so we don't have any of the discussion outside the notes that Ms. Carol has given us. So be happy to talk about any of it that you guys would like.
I know item 6 we discussed on that on the grant request for the Historical Society, but I didn't write anything down, so I hated to just think off the top of my head, what did we discuss? So if any of y'all remember, Ryan or Brian, Byron.
I didn't take any notes, but I can take a look at it and see if there's anything I can remember to add.
We can add if we need to.
Yeah, I think, weren't we supposed to have a follow-up on this one, or someone was supposed to reach out to the Historic Society for clarification on that? So yeah, stuff like
The note
that.
I had from Gary was, I believe, on, kind of on the use of the funds for advertising or marketing expenses versus kind of regular upkeep. Is that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, I can look at it and mark it up based off of, it's going to be purely memory, but I'll try to do that today so it's fresh.
Very good. There was no formal action unless you guys want to talk more about it. Again, I'll just offer my apologies that we don't have any minutes for you.
And then on number 7, I didn't elaborate on either one of those projects on that, so we might need to kind of see what everybody can remember on those 2 projects. I know the second project we said had already been torn down.
Right.
But I didn't have that in any notes, so I didn't want to just go by my thoughts. And in your memo, you mentioned something about turning it back over to.
I just want to throw that out to you guys.
No.
I will continue, the way that we're doing things now. We just need to tighten up on staff and ensure that you guys are getting minutes. I mean, I know that you guys are tired of mentioning it, which is.
Yeah.
So I just don't want.
And I don't mind helping if, they need to call or something and see if I wrote something down. I don't mind looking at my notes or something, but I think everybody here.
I don't want to put you guys in a position where you feel like, man, this is just not working and we got to do something different. I, hope that you guys will give us a chance to, course correct this and get them back on track, and we can, again, just ensuring that you guys have minutes that are timely and accurate is key. So
I think that's a good idea. So no action?
no action I needed. Thank you again for
Clean it up.
the input that you guys, and with the special thanks to Ms. Carol, because we wouldn't have anything if she wouldn't have given us what she had.
All right, we'll go on to item 2, consideration possible action on selection of a design scheme for the wayfinding signage project.
Director, you will all either recall something about this. I know Arnett is stepping into this with, some amount of understanding perhaps from, past discussions, but so the city is undertaking, or the EDC in particular, has contracted for wayfinding signage design program. Again, this is just kind of those big turning points. You see them in other cities that tell you the historic downtown is this way, the cemeteries are that way, or the high schools, over there. So what they did, just to recap, for us here tonight, kind of preface what the decisions that's being asked of you, is we met with a joint workshop between the council and the EDC to look at about 4 or 5 different options. And the design team had really tried to purposefully provide a lot of options. And so what you're looking at tonight in your packet, starting on page 4, is basically a condensing or a combination of various, elements and schemes based on the feedback that the consultant got from the workshop. And so where they're at now is they say, okay, we're ready to move forward to the next phase. We just need to make the final selection on the design.
If I remember correctly, in that meeting, some of the bigger statements that continue to be echoed throughout the people who were there was to add the symmetry to it to kind of balance each option. So I see that each one of them are more balanced. There also was the idea of continuity. So what you have on the road is aesthetically very, very similar to when they turn or when they're arriving in the city. And I think that would be wise to get that continuity in that. But there's pros and cons of each of these. So what would we like to start with? I know, do we want to start with the gateway option? We got 3 choices. Would that be a good start? Because like I say, if the gateway is one way and something else isn't that way, I would think that wouldn't look good.
Yeah, I think it may influence, kind of there's some options on the gateways that seem to tie more to the other side. So be happy to talk about the gateway first.
So we have 3 options.
So just for reference, I'm on pages 8 through 12 really of your packet are the gateway options. And again, they've got a 1A and 1B. I'm looking at pages 8 and 9, and this is kind of the horizontal, graphic. One is using the red, one is using the blue background. I don't know if you guys have a preference on, any of these elements. Or
People spoke about the desire for red, white, and blue because of the Texas flag. So I think that first one of those first 2, 1A, has that color reflected.
On option 2, which is kind of the wavy flag design, I feel like that one didn't get a lot of traction in the workshop. Is that fair?
Yeah, I don't care for that one.
Yeah, it didn't, yeah.
So do we just make a motion to, well, we can have a discussion about it, but is it like making a motion for one, or how do we do that?
Well, if you guys wanted to do it, just to keep it clean for you, if you wanted 3 separate motions, we're fine with that. I'm sorry, 2 separate motions, because we're looking at a gateway sign and then we're looking at the other side.
Yeah.
So if you want to, settle on one so you can move, on to the next one, that'd be perfectly fine.
On the gateway option 1A, which is page 8, where it's red,
Yeah, I like that.
and then the next page is the blue. When you see it right there, the blue's not bad. But then when you scroll down and you see it out in the field, you can't see, I don't like, the blue is not, no. So
The red and white.
I personally would like to go with the option 1A, and I'd
Yeah, I do too.
comment as to everybody else.
Yeah, it's not contrasty enough with the background.
I think it would be good to make a motion, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we adopt gateway signed option 1A.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Motion is debatable, minimum, requires a majority vote. Any other further discussion? All in favor of choosing option 1A, the red, white, and blue, for our gateway sign, say.
Is it blue or red?
What'd you say?
for our gateway sign.
Red.
Just doing
It's
it.
white and blue.
It's
The
red and white.
Red.
Yeah, red, white, and blue.
Oh, and blue, I got you,
Yes,
I got
red,
you.
white, and blue.
All we heard down here was blue.
So what part is blue? The lettering?
The
the
boundary,
trim.
the border, or the trim.
It's got a little trim that
Border around
that
it.
really has some.
Yeah.
But see, here is the blue,
Yeah,
and it's okay here.
I like it.
I mean, I like it there. But then when you see it, that
Yeah.
they've put it out here in the field,
Right.
that blue just kind of is blown away.
The
There's
only
no-
possible adjustment that was discussed before on that type of option was in lieu of the star being silver. Maybe it needed to be white. I think one or two might have said that. I don't remember. Is everybody okay with it the way it is?
I'm okay with the way it is. Before, the silver made it look like a Dallas Cowboys star.
Which I have no objection.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look so bad with the other colors.
I don't know, I'm just.
Tell me.
I like the blue because it looks a richer color, you know, red.
It's classier,
Yeah, it is classier.
but it does blend pretty.
It just depends. I mean, the print is going to be white, so it's going to be, the lettering is going to be white, so it's going to pop, I think, but,
The lettering is blue with the white bound border, so
okay. I don't know, I'm just,
The reason the blue blends is because it's by that blue wave, and it has a
Right.
more blue behind it,
right.
Wait, what are you talking about?
the gateway.
Oh,
I mean,
option two.
the location where it would sit on the east side would be, I'm
I see.
assuming that where we're seeing it geographically is where it's going to go, right?
So I guess that's right.
So wait, you're talking about option
Pizza
two?
Shack.
Pizza Shack, and then the other one's coming down the hill where you got the bank in the background.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
We need to be able to move that thing back about another mile.
I mean, I'm good either way, it
Yeah.
just my opinion, I think the blue looks, like you said, classier.
Any problems with the granite or the stone?
Now, I like the stones.
I think it's
That's good.
like a limestone.
Yeah.
I think once you start trying to add too much more than what we got,
Yeah,
it starts
gets
getting
cluttered.
too busy. Yeah, it looks,
Yeah, you want to be able to read it doing 60 mile an hour, and you got
Right.
about 3 seconds or
and you
less.
know, I agree, we're all about Texas, but you don't want to get too cheesy about it, you know?
Yeah. It's like a subtle tip of the hat to the
Right.
flag, but not over much.
All right, everybody ready to vote?
So the motion is for 1A.
Motion is for option 1A, red,
Yeah.
white, and blue
Which is
with the
the-
extended flag, or with the extended out, whatever that is.
This one.
Okay, I'd like to say yes and no, so all in favor say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no. And we will approve gateway sign option 1. Going on to the overall design scheme, we have 4A and 4B.
You see, again, so just to kind of point out a couple of the things that came out of the workshop is they had initially given options for a silver pole or a lighter colored pole. You'll notice that the poles here are all black because that seemed to be the general consensus was the black poles looked better than what the silver ones, again, back to.
yeah, definitely. Black pole.
Yeah,
antique pole.
I think the silver pole, so if you're wondering, if maybe you're asking why is there not much difference, you know, particularly on the pole element between these, is because it was kind of, you know, at least indicated to the consultant that the black poles were the way the city wanted to go.
For sure.
So if we're speaking
So
purposes.
are they aluminum?
The signs themselves, they would, I would assume so, but I don't.
What are the
you're gonna-
poles? Is it a cast base or something with a steel pole in it, or?
I do not have the specs on kind of the construction of that. I know that that's part of what they're going to be doing is specking these out so we know exactly what the materials are and things like that, but I would assume that they're modern, you know, kind of, you know, currently used materials. And again, when you deal, you know, a lot of these signs, like the textile stuff, we're going to be building toward the textile spec to ensure that we're compliant with that.
So I like option 4B.
Notice kind of the header is a little different.
Right.
You know, if you recall
It's got
the
the
initial header
header
a
here
bit,
with the
it
star.
had those angled sides, and I think that.
Which one's this now?
that
This
some
was
people,
4B
you know, like
here.
the way
Okay.
the angled
It's got
sides
the
used to be, but this cap again,
name on
I
it.
think the intent of that is
And
to
then
kind of
here
mirror
was
some of the downtown
4A.
parapet walls or the tops of buildings
Just
down.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's what I like about it. It's kind of,
I like the one in the middle.
it's like a throwback to
I mean,
the old buildings.
the top piece.
What'd you call it? What type of roof?
Parapet?
Parapet.
P-A-R-A-P-E-T.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think the transition would be nice with 4B.
And then here's like 4B on the side of the roads.
Yeah.
In different areas.
That B looks pretty good.
Let me do 4A.
I just think the one from the.
Dave, as far as, I know we're just getting the style tonight, but where are we at in terms of what we had the ability to do first? And when would we make that selection?
Right.
What's
I
something?
do know that they intend on providing us with the recommended phasing plan to kind of talk about those, but I've not seen any of that yet. I've seen the 50% drawings that they have for, you know, the locations, which really haven't changed since we, you know, looked at it in the workshop, but I don't have a good estimate from them on, you know, okay, what's the first piece of this?
Okay. So that would be next. Any other comments, questions?
What is the schedule timing for this once we approve?
I don't have that in mind. I think we know. Again, this was just a design contract.
Right.
So this wouldn't be, you know, rolling out of building signs, but if they're going to spec everything out essentially to give us the ability to go,
Price it?
yep, you know, get the pricing and decide what, you know, where we're going to do it. Again, they are going to advise us on the phasing plan to ensure we're kind of getting the, you know, the most bang for our buck, especially on the initial, you know, rollout of it.
I mean, maybe a 12-month project or,
Well, that's going to come down the cost of it.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the money in the budget to do the design, we're going to have the money in the budget to build it. So,
okay.
So,
Be nice to get them up.
Yeah, that's fine.
but certainly some of them, again, you know, like we could, you know, do those, you know, pretty early on in the process with a comparatively low, you know, investment in it. I mean, these will, when you look at the whole sign program, for every sign that they're recommending, it's going to be a tall price tag on. But again, that's the, you know, that's the basis for phasing these out.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it all at one time.
Nope.
We would phase it out every year.
It would be done over time?
Typically,
Probably
not all at once.
You know, generally, you know, I don't know the funding on it yet, and, you know how Gary intends on, you know, trying to parcel this out. I mean, you know, honestly, you know, a lot of these tourism signs, they can come from the EDC, and they can come from the city, so it'll be a joint conversation on, well,
Right.
hey, here's the price tag, what, you know, fits in the EDC bucket in terms of, yep, that's a tourism sign for sure, versus not. So,
Right.
Yeah, at least with this, we have a game plan on, we had 5 signs this year, 5 signs. Next year, we know they're going to look the same because we have a designated schematic of how they're supposed to look.
exactly, that's the intent of this, is so we don't, you know, run down 5 years down the road and nobody really remembers what the, you know, what the exact color values were, or, you know, where that spec is. Or,
Yeah.
So we're 4B.
4B, I
Make a
think, is the
motion.
best. Anyone want to make that a motion?
I can make the motion.
Motion by Ryan, do we have a second?
Second.
4A, option 4A, the overall sign
4A or
design. Sorry. Gosh. 4B.
4B.
I was gonna say.
I made a motion for 4B.
All right, so the motion was by Ryan, and who was the second?
Arnett?
Second was Arnett for option 4B. Any
Correct.
further discussion? All in favor of option 4B for the overall sign design schematic, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no, and we will approve option 4B. Number 3, discussion of downtown trick-or-treat event.
We did ask for this to be on the agenda, but then texted me and said he wasn't going to be here and asked if we could delay the conversation until he gets back. I told him I didn't have any issue with it, but I told him that I would provide you guys with just a handout of the results of the survey that we did, that just kind of got the feedback of the businesses after the event. Take that, look through it, and again, we'll bring this item back at the request of Jeff, so you can be here to participate in the conversation.
It's nice to get the feedback, I'll just say
Yep.
that. So, but I'm okay if we table it until Jeff is, next meeting for Jeff.
You would let that be a motion, and we could
I can,
second?
yeah, I make a motion that we table this item for the next meeting.
I'll second.
Second is by Dan. Motion's debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All in favor of approving or tabling item 3, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed, say no, and we will table item 3.
Okay.
Dave, anything else?
I do not have anything.
Okay. Council inquiry?
What about the, so the Historic Society, are we in talks with them about the Christmas? Or is our, is it Patricia? Our events planner, is she in coordination with the Montgomery Historic Society on coordinating marketing for the Christmas event?
I do not know the answer to that. I don't know that our, kind of marketing efforts, again, so the city handles the parade event. I don't know that the city's necessarily specifically pushing kind of the vendor market or the cookie walk. At this point, while we look at these from a separate, we are doing this piece, the Historic Society is doing this piece. I think that, if you're coming to the parade, you know about the cookie walk or are aware of it. And so, but I don't know, to answer your question, though, I don't know if there are specific, marketing considerations between the two. I know we're pushing the parade and, the day, but I don't keep up with, with the marketing, say, of the Historical Society to know if they're doing the same.
Okay. I saw that we had to split the snow party thing to a separate day.
Yeah, it looks like they moved that to a different day. They did check, I think after the last meeting, to see if they could recombine it. I think I saw an email that said that it wasn't possible, so I don't really have any information on that, but I know that the intent is next year to go back to the same day.
I feel like that's going to be kind of a waste of money to do that on a separate day, but it's not on an agenda item. But
I got a
what day is that going to be on, the snow party? The
It's
16th?
Sunday, the
December the
afternoon.
16th
Sunday or
Or,
Saturday?
excuse
It's
me,
a
the next
Saturday. from 1 to 4. I got an email or I got a text asking when the snow party, had the snow party been moved back to the day of the parade, because something went out on Facebook from the city that combined it all today. So will you check on that?
I'll
Because,
follow up and find out, because I don't.
right here out on the front desk is a piece of paper that says the snow party's December the 16th.
Yeah, I'll double check and make sure we're not putting up,
But
conflicting info.
it was
but-
showing that,
And that was an advert, that was an advertisement from the city, you say that,
today, talking about the parade, and It talked about the snow party.
Gotcha.
You might just check on it, because it said it, if you read it, you felt like it was all in the same day.
Perfect. I'll find out, and I'll take a look at it and make sure we clean it up if we need to.
Okay.
It'd be nice if it was.
I know.
Dave, was Patty just not able to be here this evening?
I do not know. Gary told me that he didn't need her to attend the meeting, so I just relayed the same. I'm not sure.
I think it'd be good to have her here, but I'll talk to Gary. Tomorrow is the first meeting of 2 meetings for parade, people who are in the parade, tomorrow at 6, and then I think the 28th. So the next 2 Tuesday nights are reserved for instruction for people in the parade. So if they didn't get the memo or you didn't, that's tomorrow night and the following Tuesday at 6 o'clock right here. Same information will be covered at both meetings.
It'd be good to have them both at the same time. Too many resources at different times.
Yeah.
Okay, any others? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second.
Second?
All in favor say yes.
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 It is 6:27 and we are adjourned.
Right, it's the best one.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Finish this 12 here.